Okay, so yung next set of examples ay about orifice. So usually ito yung pag-exit ng liquids that is contracted or contracted yung liquid dahil for example maliit yung butas. So for example for this container, meron tayong butas sa ilalim that will be the orifice. Okay, how do we compute for the discharge, the velocity of flow out from the container through the orifice, and so on? So let us assume that the liquid surface is zero pressure or walang pressure dun sa liquid surface natin, and the height of the liquid above the orifice is equal to h. So that is from potential energy. Okay, kung gagalaw na siya, it will be in, okay, converted to kinetic energy. So what is the equivalent of potential energy? We have the mgh equal to kinetic energy is 1/2 the mass times the velocity squared. So obviously we can cancel yung mass. And for example, if you are to compute for the velocity, ang equivalent na ng velocity will be the square root of yun, 2 cross multiply 2 g times the h. Pero since nag-neglect tayo, hindi natin kinonsider yung contraction ng liquid bago siya lumabas dun sa very small opening, the orifice. So that makes this as the theoretical velocity. Okay, the b sub t. So, paano natin kino-compute yung actual velocity? Nako-compute siya actually using experiment or ginagawa natin yung experiment na yun sa hydraulics lab. So, doon na i-introduce yung ating C sub B, the coefficient of velocity, which is equal to the actual velocity. This is divided by the theoretical velocity. So how do we compute for velocity actual? It is the coefficient of velocity multiplied by the square root of 2gh, the theoretical velocity. And then how do we compute for the discharge? So parang ganun pa rin. The discharge is still area times velocity. But this is the area of the orifice, then the theoretical velocity. Kapag ginamit natin yung theoretical velocity, this is the theoretical discharge. So theoretical discharge is equal to area ng orifice multiplied by the square root of 2g times h. So paano naman i-compute yung flow rate actual? Again, so sa hydraulics lab yun, on the opening of the orifice, maglalagay ka lang ng container, then uurasan mo, yun yung flow rate actual. So, ganun siya kinukuha sa hydraulics lab. So, dun naman papasok yung C. Sa ibang reference, C. Sa ibang reference, we have the C sub D. That is the coefficient of discharge equal to the actual flow rate. This is divided by the theoretical discharge. So how do we compute for the actual flow rate is equal to C sub D, yun, cross multiply, multiplied by theoretical discharge. That is the area of the orifice, the square root of 2g times h. So this is how we compute for the actual discharge. Okay, tapos if we are to involve yung area, yun, paano ba yung area? So we have the, that will be the coefficient of contraction naman. Coefficient of contraction is equal to area actual divided by the area theoretical. So yung area actual natin, that is the contracted area ng orifice na kung tawagin, so the contracted area or opening or yun yung ano ng tubig or liquid, that is the vena contracta. That is our actual area. Okay, the actual area is the vena contracta. And the theoretical area, so lagay na lang natin as area actual for the area of the vena contracta. Area theoretical is actually the area of the orifice since it's not maximize, hindi na ma-maximize yung diameter ng liquid paglabas niya dun sa maliit na butas na orifice. And then, kung babalikan natin yung basic ng equations when it comes to the discharge, discharge is equal to area times velocity. When it comes to the discharge, we have the coefficient of discharge. When it comes to area, if area is involved, we have the coefficient of contraction. And when it comes to velocity, we have the coefficient of velocity. So, ito yung relation ng mga coefficients natin, okay, when it comes to orifice. So, let's have example number 22. Okay, so let's have our next example. This is item number 22. A large closed cylindrical steel tank 4 meters high with its bottom on a level ground contains 2 layers of liquid. So the bottom layer is water 2 meters deep. The top layer is occupied by a liquid whose specific gravity is not known to a depth of 1 meter. The airspace at the top is pressurized to 16 kilopascals. A 50 millimeter diameter orifice with C sub B equal to 0.98 is situated 1 meter from the bottom of the tank. The jet of the orifice hits the ground 3.5 meters horizontally away from the vena contracta. Determine the specific gravity of the liquid at the top layer. So, kumbaga, ito yung illustration natin for this problem. Okay, so how do we compute for the specific gravity of this unknown liquid? So again, the 1 meter on the top is air, pressurized to 16 kilopascals. 1 meter layer of unknown liquid, and then we have 2 meters of water. So according to the problem, from the bottom of the tank, we have 1 meter. Above the bottom of the tank, we have the orifice, and the jet hits the ground at a horizontal distance of 3.5 meters. So when it comes to this case, we call this case of orifice problem. This is the constant head. So if you say constant head, though we observe that there is a discharge of liquid, we assume that the liquid surface will not go down. The level of the liquid surface will not change. So it will remain constant. So for constant head, we cannot directly apply the given formulas earlier. So all you have to do is analyze this one, since we have several layers with an including a pressure. So what causes the liquid to come out is that we have a pressure. And so we have the pressure on the orifice causes the liquid to come out as a jet. So all we have to do is compute for the total pressure. Okay, what is the total pressure acting on the orifice that causes this jet of water? So the total pressure up to the orifice is equal to the first one, we have that as air pressure of 16 kilopascals plus yung unknown liquid. So paano yung pressure ulit? Last time sa fluid mechanics, it's the gamma H. Gamma, specific gravity niya, hindi natin alam, times 9.81, and then corresponding height niya is 1. And then plus, yung height ng tubig hanggang orifice is also 1 meter. So that is the 9.81 times 1. This is the total pressure acting on the orifice. So basically that is 16 plus 9.81. We have that as 25.81 plus this term, that is the 9.81 times the specific gravity. Okay, so if we have an experiment sa hydraulics regarding the orifice, so ito yung clue ninyo. Ito yung actually na ginagawa sa hydraulics lab. So, given yung mga actual distances natin, actual horizontal displacement, and actual vertical displacement y is equal to 1. Take note, when it comes to projectile, this is analyzed as projectile. Kung babagsak siya sa mas mababang elevation, you assume the y to be negative. Kung mas mataas naman, positive. So let us just apply yung isang formula sa physics. Kung naalala natin, ano yung formula na yon? Okay, so from P6, we have y is equal to the x tangent of theta ay minus the gx squared divided by 2 times velocity actual. So, bakit velocity actual? These are the actual displacements, 3.5 at saka yung negative 1 meter. Then, cosine of theta quantity squared. So, baka na-encounter ninyo before sa P6. Okay, so bakit velocity actual? Again, these are the actual displacements. So, kunin natin yung actual velocity. But the missing term is we don't have theta. Pero kung mapapansin natin dito sa given, this is a vertical cylindrical tank. So, paglabas ng tubig, it is perfectly, yan, paglabas ng tubig dito, it is assumed to be perfectly horizontal. Since, again, vertical yung side nung tank natin. So, we assume that theta will be 0. Yan. So, 0 siya kapag vertical wall yung pinanggalingan ng jet, okay, from the orifice. So, okay, that makes the value of theta equal to 0. Tangent of theta is 0. Tangent of 0 is 0. Cosine of 0 is simply equal to 1. Ayan, so we substitute. Ayan, so ano yung y natin? That is negative 1 equal to, again, tangent of 0 is 0. So this is already 0. Minus 9.81. Horizontal displacement of 3.5 squared divided by 2 times velocity actual squared. Again, cosine of 0 is simply 1. So we can now compute for the actual. And this is the actual velocity. So we have 9.81 times 3.5 squared. And then divided by 2. And then kunin natin yung square root. So the actual velocity is, and we can have it as 7.752 meters per second. So para saan yung actual velocity? So as you can see, we have multiple layers of pressure and liquids. So kapag meron tayong actual velocity, makukuha natin yung equivalent actual head. So ano ba yung formula ng velocity actual? Velocity actual is equal to C sub B, the square root of 2g times h. Yung h na to will be our total energy head. So, velocity actual is 7.752 equal to C sub B, given siya as 0.98. This is the square root of 2 times 9.81 times the equivalent actual head. So what causes this displacements? Ano yung actual head natin? So 7.752 divided by 0.98 squared divided by 2 divided by 9.81. So the total energy head is equal to 3.189. Okay, that is 3.189 meters. So, yun yung kanyang equivalent head. So, basically, paano ba tayo nagko-compute ng pressure kung i-recall natin yun sa fluid mechanics? Pressure is gamma times H. So, di ba, meron na tayong total pressure against the orifice. Yung kanina, ito, so ilagay natin siya dito. Pressure on the orifice is 25.81, okay, is equal plus 9.81 of S is equal to gamma water natin, 9.81. Ano yung equivalent total head? That is 3.189 meters. So in this equation, ang unknown na lang is the specific gravity of the unknown liquid. So compute natin. That is 25.81 plus the 9.81 multiplied by the unknown specific gravity is equal to the 9.81 multiplied by the total energy head of 3.189. So shift solve 0.558. So you have 0.558. So this will be the equivalent specific gravity of the unknown liquid. It is logical for a reason. Tubig ito, so dapat yung specific gravity ng liquid sa ibabaw will be less than 1. Ayan, so 0.558 sa choices natin, we have that as 0.56. Okay, so proceed tayo sa problem 23 to 25. So ilang beses na itong lumabas sa board exam. So I think around 2017 nung first time siya lumabas. Then lumabas siya sa around 5 to 6 times. So we have a situational problem. A water tank has a sloping side inclined at 45 degrees with the horizontal. The total depth of water is 6.7 meters. A water jet issues from an orifice located at the inclined side under a head of 4 meters. We have coefficient of velocity equal to 1. So we have number 23. Yan, compute the maximum height of the issuing jet arises above the center of the orifice. So parang ito yung figure natin for this problem. So given pala yung ating coefficient of velocity. So CB is equal to 1. So 100% efficient siya when it comes to velocity, since that is simply equal to 1. Okay, so first is kailangan nating makompute yung actual velocity. This is for item number 23. Yung actual velocity natin, the B sub A is equal to coefficient of velocity. This is the square root of 2g times the head. So equal to C sub B natin, that is 1 multiplied by the square root of 2 times 9.81, then under a head of 4 meters. So this will be the value of the actual velocity. The square root of 2 times 9.81 and then multiplied by 4. So let's say this is 8.859. Yes, we have 8.859 meters per second. So ang hinahanap natin sa number 23 is from the center. And so from the center of the orifice, what is the maximum height of this projectile? So basically yung problem na natin is P6. Diba? So parang P6 na lang ito. How to determine the maximum height of a projectile. So i-recall lang natin yung formula for P6. So recall ninyo yung lecture ng P6. So how do we compute for Ymax? I-recall lang ninyo yung velocity head sa hydraulics. So that is the velocity actual, but since naka-incline, it should be multiplied by sine of theta. This is quantity squared divided by 2 times g. So that is the same as the b squared over 2g. Okay, ganun tayo nagko-compute ng maximum height. Pero since incline siya, kailangan lang natin maglagay ng sine of theta, vertical component. So ano yung inclination ng ating projectile or the jet of water? So basically, okay, di ba yung sloping side is 45 degrees, i-assume natin na perpendicular yung jet of water coming out from this in sloping side. So that makes this as the same as 45 degrees. So ito yung initial direction ng ating projectile. So theta should be the same. Okay, yung value ng theta natin should be the same as 45 degrees. Okay, so we substitute. Okay, this is equal to b sub a natin is 8. That is 8.859. Tama ba yun kanina? So 8.859 multiplied by sine of 45 degrees. This is quantity squared. So divided by 2 times the 9.81. So equal to, yun, pwede nating idiretso or gamitin yung stored value. Multiplied by sine 45 degrees equals squared equals divided by 9.81 and then divided by 2. So obviously, okay, the maximum height should be 2 meters. So do we have this one sa choices? Kay item number 23, yun, that will be letter D. So yun yung suot natin sa number 23, it is letter D, 2 meters. And then problem number 24, determine the time it takes for the water particle to reach the ground that is 1.2 meters below the bottom of the tank. So, yung height na 6.7, yan, magdadagdag pa tayo dito ng additional distance pababa na 1.2 meters. So, dun daw babagsak yung jet of water. So, inahanap yung time. Okay, so the usual na ginagamit ko when it comes to projectile problem is yung range. So, let's say, ito yung starting point ng jet of water papunta dito. Ay, lipat natin. So, let's say from horizontal distance ng starting point ng jet of water papunta dito sa kanyang landing point. Okay, we have that as the x. Yun yung range. So, the usual, kailangan ko muna yung range bago ko makompute yung the time of flight. Kasi yun yung pinakamadaling approach. So, ano rin naman yung kanyang vertical displacement? Kailangan din natin yung vertical displacement of the jet of water. So, we have, this is 1.2. So, di ba, 6.7 under a head of 4 meters. So, ano yung remaining doon? A remaining of 2.7 meters. And then, additional na 1.2 meters. So, therefore, yung y natin should be equal to, okay, what is 2.7 plus 1.2? We have that as 3.9 meters. Pero, if you are to recall yung previous example, if the projectile will fall to a lower elevation, ano dapat yung proper sign convention? So, diba, this is 3.9 meters, proper sign convention. Kung babagsak ang projectile sa mas mababang elevation, dapat negative. Okay, so similar sa previous example natin, ayan, hopefully hindi nyo makakalimutan or wag nyo kakalimutan yung equation na to kasi when it comes to orifice problems sa hydraulics or fluid mechanics, lagi siyang projectile problem. In most cases. So we have the y is equal to x tangent of theta minus the gx squared. This is divided by 2 times the initial velocity, that is the actual velocity, cosine of theta quantity squared. Ayun. So we use again this equation. Ayun. So, ayun. Hindi pala ito yung, una pala nating masosolve is yung range. Kaya lang, if you are to observe, hindi pala ito number 24. Yung range is actually required sa number 25. So, palitan natin. This should be number 25. Okay, so we substitute. Okay, ano yung value ng y? The value of y is equal to, mas mababa, 3.9 meters. Equal to x, hindi natin alam. Tangent of theta, that is tangent of 45 degrees. Okay, minus 9.81 alpha x squared. This is divided by 2 times our actual velocity, 8.859. Then cosine ng 45 degrees. So this is quantity squared. Yan. So in this equation, okay, una nating masosolve yung x, yung range sa number 25. And so we have negative 3.9 equal to, we have alpha x, this is tangent 45. So tangent 45 is basically 1. I minus 9.81, we have alpha x squared, then divided by 2 times initial velocity is 8.859 cosine theta 45 degrees quantity squared. So shift solve. Again, bago kayo mag-press equals, pwede kayong maglagay ng any value na malapit sa choices para mas mabilis yung iteration. Ano ba yung malapit sa, or yung parang pinakagitna ng mga nasa choices? So it's from 9 to 18. Pwede na siguro yung 15 or yan, 15. Then press equals para malapit dun yung trial and error ng calculator or iteration. Pero yung lumabas, we have that as 10.87. And we have 10.87 meters. So, for item number 25, again, inuna kong sinolve yung range. It is letter A. Ngayon, kapag may range na tayo, recall lang natin sa projectile, madali na lang mag-compute ng time of flight. So, we can now solve si number 24. Si number 24 is the time of flight. Lagi kong ginagamit yung horizontal component. So, b sub x is simply x divided by the time. So, the time is equal to x divided by, ang b sub x is horizontal component ng velocity. B sub a, cosine of theta. So again, mas simple gamitin yung horizontal component kaysa sa vertical component ng projectile. The time of flight is equal to, ano yung range natin? 10.87. This is divided by our actual or initial velocity, 8.859 meters per second. Then this is cosine of 45 degrees. So this will be the time of flight. Yan, 10.87, pwede natin gamitin yung entire value or the stored value divided by velocity 8.859 cosine ng 45 degrees equals, ay, ang ginawa ko napindot ko ng dalawang beses yung equals. So, yan. Balik tayo sa 10.87 equals 1.735, 1.735 seconds. So, do we have this one's choices? Item number 23. That will be letter C, 1.74. So, again, sa mga previous board exam o ng orifice-related problems, yun, very important na alam natin yung concept ng projectile from physics. Okay, so we proceed to the last example. We have two vertical cylindrical tank. One is 5 meters in diameter and the other is 8 meters in diameter, are connected by a short tube having a cross-sectional area of 0.004 square meter. C, or that is the same as the C sub D, coefficient of discharge is equal to 0.6. Located at the bottom portion, When the tube is closed, the water surface at the smaller tank is 10 meters higher than that in the bigger. So we have number 26. Determine the discharge in the tube immediately after it is opened. So ito yung ating illustration. So again, by the way, based sa given, the diameter of the smaller tank is equal to 5 meters. And then the diameter of the bigger tank is equal to 8 meters. So again, according to the problem, the water surface of the smaller tank is 10 meters higher than that of the bigger tank. So first question number 26 is, determine the discharge in the tube immediately after it is opened. So sa number 26, yung approach natin dito will be constant head. So pagbukas nung tube dito sa ilalim, yun, ano yung kanyang initial discharge? So again, yung approach nito is constant head. So item number 26, ano yung formula natin for constant head? We have the flow rate actual is equal to the C sub D, area of the orifice, the square root of 2G H. So ano yung gagamitin natin dito na head? Di ba, according to the problem, the water on the smaller tank is 10 meters higher. Yun yung ating initial head actually. So we have that as 10 meters. So this is most likely direct sub kay number 26. So flow rate actual is equal to C sub D or C sa ibang reference equal to 0.60. Area ng orifice given na siya directly as an area 0.004 multiplied by the square root of 2 times 9.81 multiplied by the head of 10 meters. So yung makukompute natin dito na flow rate actual ay nasa cubic meter per second. Pero yung nasa choices is in liters per second. So mag-multiply tayo ng 1,000 liters is to 1 cubic meter. So this will be our flow rate actual. And so again, we have that as 0.6 multiplied by 0.004 multiplied by the square root of 2 times the 9.81 multiplied by the initial head of 10 meters. Then multiplied by 1,000 para nasa liters per second. We have that as 33.617. So equal to 33.617 liters per second. So ito yung sagot natin sa item number 26. That will be letter A. So we have 33.6. Ayan, so number 27, determine the time elapsed for the water surface in each tank to be at the same level. Kapag involved na ang time sa orifice, yung approach na natin dito should be the falling head. So, ang tawag natin doon is falling head. Iko-consider na natin ngayon yung pagbaba ng liquid surface. So, meron tayong two cases. So, we have case number 1. Case number 1, ito yung kapag involved ang isang tangke lang. So, one tank. So, again, ibigay ko na lang directly yung formula. But sa ibang or sa mga previous videos ko yata dito sa YouTube channel ko is pinakita ko yata I think yung derivation. So case number 1 is one tank. How to compute for the time? The time is equal to negative 2 times area of the tank divided by, we have C sub D, this is area of the orifice, the square root of 2G. Then multiplied by the square root of the final head minus the square root of the initial head. So this is the formula applicable if we are dealing just with one tank. So ano naman yung ating case number 2? So case number 2 is yung two tanks. kapag dalawang tangke yung involved. So, paano natin i-compute yung time? The time is equal to -2. Area 1, we have area 2. Then this is divided by, we have area 1 plus area 2 multiplied by coefficient of discharge, area of the orifice. This is the square root of 2g, then multiplied by the square root of the final head minus the square root of the initial head. Ayan, so obviously, yung example natin, we are dealing with two tanks. So sabi niya sa number 27 is determine the time elapsed for the water surface in each tank to be at the same level. So kung the same level siya, and this is number 27, our initial head is actually, ano yung initial head natin? Yun yung initial difference in liquid surface. We have 10 meters. Kapag sinabing same level, ano na yung final head? Ano na yung difference in liquid surface? Di ba kapag same level na sila, titigil na yung flow, the energy head is actually zero. So, ganito kapag same level. So, basically, if we say heads, ito yung difference in liquid surface from the source tank at saka yung receiver tank. So, sabi niya sa problem number 27, same level, therefore, the energy head is already zero. So, again, this is for case number 2. We are dealing with two tanks. So, gagamitin natin yung formula na to. So, we have the time is equal to -2. Ano yung ating area 1? Area 1 is 5 meters in diameter. So, 5 squared pi divided by 4 multiplied by, okay, yung second tank. So, the second tank is 8 meters in diameter. So, this is multiplied by 8 squared pi, then divided by 4. Then, yun, may kahabaan lang talaga yung formula na to. Divided by area 1, that is 5 squared pi divided by 4 plus we have 8 squared pi divided by 4. And then coefficient of discharge, given lang siya as 0.60. Area ng orifice is 0.004 multiplied by the square root of 2 times 9.81. Then multiplied by the square root, same level is 0. Square root of the initial head, yung initial head na 10 meters. So, gaano katagal bago sila mag-same level? Pwede rin yung tanong is, gaano katagal bago tumigil yung flow? Kasi pag same level na sila, ayan, titigil na yung flow. Uy, ba't ayaw gumalaw nung ating calculator? Ayan, so input tayo. Is -2 times and then we have the 8 squared pi. This is divided by 4. And so divided by, okay, area 1. So diameter is 5. And then area 2, the diameter is 8. And so we have coefficient of discharge 0.6, area is 0.004. And then we have the square root of 2 times 9.81. Wala nang space. Lagyan natin sa taas yun. Hopefully kaya pa. This is the square root of 0. Pwede namang hindi na natin ilagay yan actually. Pero sige. Sa labas yung minus sign. Minus the square root of ayaw. Ayan, ito na lang muna. Press equals natin yan. Ay, may error. Ano yung error ko doon? Okay. Mali yung grouping ko dito. 80. Ay, anong ginawa ko doon? problema to. Ayan, then multiplied by, ayan, square root of 0 is 0, pero ilagay ko lang para malinaw. Square root of 0, and then minus the square root of 10. So that is 8,400.19. So 8,400.19 seconds. So do we have this one sa item number 27? And so naka-whole number lang siya, letter C. Okay, that is 8,400. And then lastly, number 28, determine the time elapsed for the difference in water surface to be 4 meters. So, konting edit lang tayo dyan kay number 28. Ang initial head pa rin natin is 10 meters. So, sabi niya, gaano katagal bago yung difference will be 4 meters. So, that is our final head, 4 meters. So, pwede yata natin itong i-copy na lang. Mag-edit lang naman tayo. Yung 0, palitan lang natin siya ng 4. Ayan, so try natin. Ganun lang gagawin. Yung 0 sa previous equation na to, palitan lang natin siya ng 4. Oh, yun lang. Paano kaya natin gagawin? Baka pwedeng i-recall. Ayun. So, di ba ito yung constant natin equals, then multiplied by the square root. Sorry. So, that is the square root of the final head is 4. Initial head is 10. Yan. So, we have that as 3,087.443. Yan. 3,087.443 seconds. Okay, so check natin kung meron ito sa item number 28. Yan. So, whole number lang ulit din. We have letter A. This is 3,087. So, ito yung sagot natin for situational problem number 26 to 28. Parang combination siya ng two cases ng orifice, the constant head and the falling head.